What's up, guys? It's Kimber Quests. So Stardew 1.6 has been out for a couple months and I finally had time to really play it enough to be able to make this video, which is my favorite additions to Stardew Valley. I know console players are still waiting for it and I feel so bad for you guys. I hope it comes out soon. Obviously, don't watch this if you don't want spoilers, but here are some of the things that you can look forward to if you haven't been able to play the game yet. I probably have about 800 hours-ish in this save file, so at this point I feel like I've done everything and I've run out of things to do besides just collect items and redecorate. So I really loved the addition of the prize ticket machine for two reasons. First of all, it gave me a reason to keep doing quests. It gave me another task. And second of all, because there are some rare and unique items that you can only get from the prize machine, and as a collector, I love that. So how the prize machine works is you check the bulletin board. I also love there's green check marks now that show you if you've already done the quest. I'm going to pick an easy one just to make this video quick and easy. So my task was to deliver 24 eggs to Gus, so I just went and grabbed those out of my auto grabber. Now I'm going to put them in his fridge, and then after you complete the request, you go back down here to the bulletin board and you can get your prize ticket. To redeem the prize tickets, you go into the mayor's house right here and interact with this prize machine. And I don't care that much about this treasure chest, but right there, that's a new decor item. So that's exciting. And as I already mentioned, I love decorating. So probably my very favorite thing about this update is just all of the new items and decor items that he has added for people like me that like to collect. There's 280 or something pieces of new furniture. Most of them can be found in these 5 catalogs. They are freaking adorable. I actually am making a separate video showing every single item in all 5 catalogs if you guys want to see that. But yes, I love all the new decor items. Don't judge my house. I'm still working on it because I got to collect everything first and see what I want to do. This is another decor item right here, the jungle tank that you get from the raccoon quests, which I absolutely love. So this is kind of like a 2-in-1 thing. I love that he's added 25 or 28 if you count the pans, new hats to collect. As you can see here, I had all the hats before and I'm working on getting all the hats in the update, but I've said enough about how much I love collecting things, so I think you guys get that. But the real point here is that I wanted to say I love the addition of the mannequins. By far the hardest part of this initial collection, outside of actually getting the living hat, was collecting all of these rare crows, because you have to buy the casino coins and then it's like 10,000 casino coins just to get one rare crow. So that was like the most time consuming, draining part of the whole entire thing. So I love the mannequins. I think they're adorable. I love that you can change outfits with them so quickly. You can make them turn different directions. Just super cute, super convenient, and I love it. Another thing is all of the secrets that he has added, like the Meow Mirror, the secret sword, which I do have a video on. I think I have a YouTube short and a TikTok on how to get it, but it's freaking cute and just makes the game so much more fun when there's all these little Easter eggs and things that you can do. Another sort of random thing that I love is that he has made the slime hutch smaller. I always thought it was ridiculously huge and an eyesore. As you can see, the slime hutch used to take up that entire empty area. And I haven't redesigned yet because I'm about to make over my whole entire farm. So I don't want to replant trees and everything until I know exactly what I'm doing. But I'm super excited that the hutch is going to just take up less space and be less of an eyesore in the overall aesthetic of my farm. And on the topic of secrets in the game, that reminded me of another thing that I really got a kick out of. In the old game, if you put a staircase in the pants slot, it would turn into the gold trimmed lucky purple shorts. And I remember before the update came out, I was afraid that would be taken out, so I went and made like 5 pair of them. Lo and behold, when the game comes out, he's added this whole new secret cutscene that involves a staircase and purple shorts, but it takes that and builds it into the lore of Stardew Valley and some of the existing stories. I'm not going to say that one in detail. All I'm going to say is get a staircase and go put it in the mayor's basement. It's just so adorable. That reminds me of my next very favorite thing about this game, and that is that there are several changes that I've seen or noticed that just make it so obvious that Eric pays so much attention to what Stardew fans like and love and dislike and hate, and he has catered to that. So I have a couple examples. One of them really means a lot to me. Like if I met him in person, I would hug him and say thank you for fixing the rug thing. All right, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I wish I could find footage of it. I know I have this recorded somewhere, but in case I can't find it, I'll just explain it to you. In the 1.5 version of the game, anytime you clicked on the rug, it would just pick it up. And it was very easy to pick it up on accident when you were trying to set something down on top of it. I can't tell you with this room specifically how many freaking times I picked up that stupid rug and I was so pissed because I then had to pick up the bed and the tables and everything else and start from the beginning. Like, it's happened so many times. Even just getting out of bed and trying to like drink a coffee or whatever, I've accidentally picked up the rug and had to fix the whole room, and it absolutely just drove me crazy. Like, if you've experienced this, you know that it almost will make you want to rage quit. So now when anything is on a rug, you can't pick it up. So see right here, because of this little stuffed animal, I cannot interact with that rug. As soon as I pick it up, I can't. I did not know that was there. That's very weird. Anyway, super easy to pick up. But as soon as any item is on top of it, oops, wrong spot, it's going to stay stationary. So I know there's no way he could have fixed that unless he was aware that we hated it. Another one is the example of the unattainable weapons that were listed in the wiki. I, before 1.6, always wondered what their purpose was, but there were some weapons that you could not get in any way in the game that had super maxed out power levels. And those weapons were only available for the bachelors and bachelorettes, as far as the NPCs. I don't know if I've explained this well. There were weapons in the game that belonged to certain NPCs that had like crazy hit power, but they were just hidden in the code. There was no way to get them. The theory, and I don't remember at this point if this was my theory, it probably wasn't. I probably read this somewhere, and I don't even know if it's a theory or if it's like a proven, confirmed thing. But the thought was that these weapons existed in case like your spouse on your farm, like the wilderness farm, maybe like crossed paths with a monster or something. They would have the weapon to hit it out of the way and instantly destroy it. And I think this was also based on what some of the weapons were. Like Penny had like a frying pan, or I don't remember all of them. But now in the update, those unobtainable weapons that people have obsessed over can now be purchased at the Desert Festival from the NPC that they belong to. So 2 days ago in game, I actually got Harvey's mallet, which was super exciting. It doesn't have the damage that it used to in the old code, so they're not like super weapons or anything, but you can at least collect them all now. I thought that was really cute that he brought that stuff in, whether he actually knew we cared or not. That's how I'm taking it. That's how I'm taking all of this stuff. But I just think it's really, really cute. Another example of that is that you can nudge your pets now. Anybody that's played this game has not been able to get to bed on time because their animal was blocking the doorway. But now if you run into the animals, you can gently push them out of the way. So I love that. On the topic of pets, I love that you can adopt more pets. Now I have 2 dogs and a cat and 4 turtles. And I love that they'll bring you gifts sometimes if you take care of them. There's some items that have always been highly coveted. You know, the living hat, tea set. I'm super glad he didn't make any changes to the living hat. I was afraid of that, and that's really petty of me, but I worked so hard to get that hat. It took me like 6 months of my real life of grinding to get it. But the tea set, I noticed in the wiki that he did change that a little bit. The tea set now has, I believe it's a 5% chance to show up in the traveling cart, which when I first read that, I was like, because I worked hard to get the tea set. But then I saw that that actually starts at year 25, which I've played this game a ton and I'm on like year 22. So yeah, I think if you get 25 years into the game and you still don't have the tea set, then you deserve a better chance at getting it. And still, it's only a 5% chance to appear. So like, it's still a very hard item to get. I don't feel like he took anything away from the pride of owning the tea set, but he made it a little bit more attainable. But it's also a reward for being that deep in the game, because year 25 is no joke. Another thing that I see a lot of people not complaining about online, but just is talked about a lot online, is that you always have had to choose only one of Penny's decor sets. Because even if you divorce her and remarry her, you only get that decor from the 14 Heart event the first time. Now you can buy all of her wall decals at the Desert Festival, and I believe the beds have been removed from the furniture catalog, so I think the actual bed is still exclusive to marrying her, so you would have to make that choice. But I know that there's a lot of players that have wanted to have those decor items that couldn't, and now he added those while still keeping them pretty tricky to get, because you have to get them on the exact day that she's the vendor at the Desert Festival. Having said that, I was so desperate to get these items in the first game that I actually married Penny and divorced her 3 times as 3 separate players on my multiplayer farm. I mean, I did it myself, and then I logged in with my mom's account and then my brother's account and went through the whole process. So I have already had these full sets since before the update, but I still thought it was really cute that he made the wall decals available to more people. The Desert Festival itself is one of my very favorite additions to the game. For me to get every single item that's available there, I'm going to have to go there all 3 days for years. So for people like me, where like I said, I've done everything in this game, that I don't have any more tasks, the fact that this update gave me so much more to do. Like right before the update came out, I really had reached the point on this save file where I was like, I'm done. Like, there's nothing else I can do besides just tear down my whole farm and redecorate it, which is fine. And I did start another save file that I've been playing on until the update came out. But now there's so much that I can do to continue to play in this save that is like my, my favorite. It is my first save ever, but it's still my favorite and will always be my favorite. I love the Desert Festival all around. The activities are super freaking fun, and there's a lot of rewards there for participating. I'm adding things to my list as I'm going, because I actually didn't have like a hard list for this video. I was just gonna like say them as they come to me, and everything that I bring up reminds me of another favorite thing. But I love Squid Fest. I love it, and I love Trout Derby too. I love Squid Fest more because it's more challenging. But I mainly, I guess, love them because you get a new decor item and a new hat for each one. But I just thought the festivals overall were different enough from the other festivals that it wasn't just like more of the same. It truly felt like something new and unique, and I had a lot of fun with both of those festivals. Squidfest Trout Derby reminds me of another favorite thing that has nothing to do with decorating. In fact, I'm pretty sure I got all of the decorating and collecting comments out of the way. So now I can tell you some things that are more applicable to like other people besides me. I have recommended this game to so many people over the last year and a half. Like basically anybody that will talk to me for longer than 5 minutes ends up getting a speech on why they need to play Stardew Valley. And it's not a short speech, but one of the things I always mention to them, or used to always mention, is that it is very difficult to get into the game, especially if you haven't played a game like this before. It's a mega grind in the early days, and you run out of energy, and everything is so difficult, and it doesn't feel all that rewarding in the beginning. I've successfully gotten 2 people into it. I've tried on several others. Two of them, it stuck. But I always tell them, like, you got to give it time. You have to, like, keep grinding, and then eventually you'll love it, I promise. But it's hard to convince people of that. I feel like he's done a lot to make this game easier to play for new players and more appealing to people in general, and more rewarding earlier in the gameplay. Fishing is so much easier. The addition of the sea jelly and river jelly. Also, the fact that now if you reach the end of spring and you still haven't had any fishing experience, Willie will come to your farm and give you a training rod which makes things a lot easier, and a fishing lesson, which bumps you up to fishing level 1. Again, that feels to me like a change that was made to make the game more rewarding, enjoyable, and easier in the beginning for newer players. Also, he added fishing frenzies, which if you don't know what those are, you'll get a pop-up in the side of your screen sometimes that says a blank frenzy has started in the mountains or whatever. And if you go to that spot right away, there's a bunch of bubbles on the water that increase your chances of catching the fish significantly just by fishing there. And then you have the targeted bait now. You can unlock a bait maker at fishing level 6, and then you put a fish inside it and it gives you targeted bait, making that specific fish so much easier to catch. And then also deluxe bait, which increases the size of the fishing bar and makes the fish come faster, makes fishing tons easier as well. And the deluxe bait you get unlocked only at level 4, so it's a little bit quicker to get that than the bait maker itself. I love the addition of the big chests. I'm still working on redoing all my inventory, so I've got a couple big chests here, but they hold so much more than the old ones. I'm going to be able to have way less chests in my inventory shed altogether now once I get these organized, but once you craft one, you don't even have to empty out your old chest. You just put this one right on top of it, and then all of your inventory is transferred into the new bigger chest. And there's the wood bigger chest and the stone big chest as well. Makes staying organized so much easier. The recipe for the big chest can be purchased from Robin at the carpenter's shop for 5,000 gold, and then the big stone chest you can purchase from the dwarf for 5,000 gold as well. Another thing I love along the lines of making the game a little bit easier and more enjoyable for a broader audience is the addition of trinkets. There are 8 different types of trinkets. I have all of them except the magic hair gel at this point. They do all different kinds of things to make combat easier. The ice rod, for an example, every few seconds will shoot a orb of ice at an enemy and freeze them for you. I like that one a lot because it'll shoot them at the crabs and the things that hide under rocks that you might not see at first. So the best version that I have shoots an orb every 4 seconds and freezes the enemy for 3.1 seconds. So it's extremely helpful. Some of the trinkets have different levels, like 1 through 5. The higher level trinket that you have, the faster it works or the better it works. Hands down, my favorite trinket that I will always keep equipped is the fairy. I think I only have level 4. Oh no, I do have the level 5 fairy. So this is the highest level of that trinket. It helps me a ton in the skull cavern, especially, but she's like a double whammy because she glows. So it's like having a glow ring. Not that you can tell on this level. But she also will give you a little bit of health every time you get hurt. So right here, when I take damage, see, she's replenishing it a little bit at a time every time I get hurt. This makes a huge difference in the mines. Like, I hardly even bring heals with me anymore because if you're trying to fight at all and she gives you a little bit of health back every time you get hit, it just makes it super easier. And it's another thing to collect. I love that we can make our homes massive now. My house is a mess. Like I said, I have to redecorate it. It's bad right now, but you can add an attic, as you can see here. You can add this huge dining room on this side, a little cubby right here, and also this used to be my cute bathroom with the wall right there. Right now, this is just kind of my collection of some new stuff, but this little side room as well. Just tons of space to fill with collections. Also, if you can see my little Krobus painting right there, my fairy's barely lighting him up, but now you can get a painting of your spouse or your roommate from the traveling card at any time once you reach their 14 heart event. Since it's getting late, I'll show you another addition that is extremely helpful, and it is the tent. So starting at level 8 foraging, you get the recipe for a tent kit, or it will also always be the first reward that you get from the Trout Derby. With a tent kit, you can literally pop up a tent anywhere. You can go to sleep for the night in the tent. So no more passing out on the way home, and then you wake up safe and sound without being robbed overnight. I love the addition of the Stardrop tea because it gives you an entire friendship heart when you gift it to someone, or if you give it to them on their birthday, it's 3 friendship hearts. Like, 3 friendship hearts is a lot of work, and the fact that you can just accomplish this in 1 item as a gift, amazing. If you're looking for Stardrop tea, you can find it in the prize machine at the mayor's house. Or sometimes you can find it in a golden fishing treasure chest, or you do get it as a reward from one of the raccoon quests as well. And just so you know, if you have a couple of them on hand, you can actually give multiples of them to an NPC on their birthday. I think you can give them up to 4. So that's like all your friendship hearts right there. You also can give them a Stardrop tea along with another gift for their birthday. So you can raise your friendship hearts a lot faster with this item. Okay, I'm sure I'm forgetting something, but the last thing that's coming to mind right now that I want to talk about in this video is my favorite new farm type. The brand new farm, the Meadowlands Farm, is spectacular, especially for beginner players or someone like me who's restarted the game so many times that they want some shortcuts in the beginning. I've never been a huge fan of farming and crops in general. They've always just been like an obligation or a thing I need to do to make recipes or do the community center bundle. My priorities when I play this game is always to get chickens and a coop as fast as possible because I want to make money. The biggest reason why I love this farm so much is because instead of getting 15 parsnips on day 1, you get 15 pieces of hay, which was confusing the first time I played until you step outside and see that this farm comes with a coop included, ready to go, and 2 chicks inside it. So to me, I feel like that's a lot more beneficial than just having some parsnip seed. Another thing I love about this farm is that it comes with the bluegrass. Now, bluegrass gives your animals twice as many friendship hearts when they eat it, and they eat half as much of the bluegrass as they do the green grass. You can get the bluegrass on the other farms, but the recipe for it costs 40 key gems in Key's Walnut Room, which is on Ginger Island. So before you can get the bluegrass on any other farm type, you have to unlock Ginger Island, find 130 golden walnuts, and have 40 gems to spare just to get the recipe. So huge advantage having this from day 1 on the Meadowlands Farm. I also really love how close the water is so that when you do plant crops, it's really convenient. I love that you can fish right on this farm. Now, if you're going to play on this farm, this is a little bit of a spoiler, so cover your eyes if you don't want it. But right here, this tree is covering a bridge. So you can cut that down and have access to the bridge. You will need a copper axe once you get past here to cut down this stump. But this is where you can access the shrine and the other part of the farm. And you can see the bluegrass is all over the farm. It's not just in the coop. Another thing I forgot to tell you guys about the bluegrass, I don't have a silo yet because I'm day 2, but once you have a silo and you cut this grass down, it has a chance of giving you 2 pieces of hay instead of just 1 like the green grass. So it's literally twice as good in every way that you can measure Stardew grass. And it's pretty. And I love that you can fish on this farm literally so close to your house. In this river, you have a 40% chance to catch the same fish that you catch in the Cindersnap Forest Pond. So not a lot of fish, but it's so close and it's so easy to get your first couple levels of fishing experience here. I overall just think that this is by far the best choice for a beginner player for those reasons. I think that's everything I can think of for now. I'm sure I'll remember more as soon as I stop recording, but overall, I couldn't be happier with this update. Like I said before, I feel like it makes the game more enjoyable, more rewarding, more appealing for new players and experienced players, and it just feels really well thought out to me. I don't think there's anything in the update that he has changed that I actually hate or that I feel made the game worse in any way. So far, every single thing that I've seen, I feel like is an improvement and just makes me love the game even more. I didn't know that was possible, but here we are. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you made it all the way till the end, this is a different video than anything I've ever done because it really was just me ranting and nerding out about how much I love this game. Normally, I do like Stardew Valley tip videos. They're a little bit more structured, but if you like Stardew Valley and you want to see more of my content, please hit subscribe. If you don't mind also hitting the like button and leaving me a comment, I would really appreciate that as well.